next set of panelists are going to be on stage, where the panel will focus on the rapid development and deployment of 5G advanced networks in the Middle East. We're going to have Mr. Faiz Abu Awad, Policy Director, MENA Region, GSMA, Dr. Khalid Al-Awadi, Manager of Broadcasting and Space Services, TDRA UAE, Hassan Al-Shmaili, Head of Technology Planning, DO, Dr. Ayman Al-Nashar, VP Technology Strategy, Architecture and Innovation, E&, Rami Boktor, Chief Technology Officer, Vodafone Qatar, Stelios Savides, Chief Technology Officer, Vodafone Oman, Hisham Siblini, Chief Technology and Infrastructure Officer, Ooredoo Qatar, Alan Tang, President of ICT Marketing and Solution Sales Department, Huawei, Zoran Lazarevich, CTO Ericsson, Middle East and Africa, Mohammed Samir, VP Middle East Market, Nokia. And the panel will be moderated by Arsam Eid, Chief Marketing Officer of Africa, Levant, KSA, and Qatar Telecom Review Group.
It's
a very small
Can you see the
panel.
end?
A very small panel. The smallest panel.
a big team. A big team, yeah.
Yeah, last one, I barely see him.
And small chairs and everything.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, we will be speaking about the world first 5G advanced that sets the region. So I'm going to start with the first question. It's going to be addressed to the TDRA and GSMA. We're going to wrap this quickly as much as we can because we are 10 panelists. So the first question, 5G advanced commercialization depends not only on infrastructure, but also on the maturity of the industry ecosystem. What are the biggest challenges currently within the 5G advanced ecosystem? How can industry organizations and government agencies overcome these challenges, drive collaboration, and foster a more mature industry value chain? I would like to give the role to Mr. Faiz Abu Awad, Policy Director from GSMA.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you here. When considering the next stage of evolution of 5G, we have to be mindful of the fact that ARPU has been stagnant for quite a while. When we are considering an opportunity in telecommunications, as we do in anything else, we are mindful of the top line and the bottom line. We have a specific challenge in a stagnant ARPU, and we need to make sure that we have the use cases monetized properly in 5G. 5G has to yet deliver on its promise, and when moving to 5G advanced, we are more in need of cross-industry collaboration, an aspect which the GSMA is actively working on. We need to think of opening access to the capabilities of the network, and here we advocate for API approach, openness. A system that is open is more likely to grow faster than a closed system. So this is basically where we stand.
Thank you, Faiz. Dr. Khalid Al-Awadi, Manager Broadcasting and Space Services at TDRA UAE. The floor is yours. The same question.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'm honored to be here in this panel to address this very important topic. Right now, my duties are on the spectrum strategy more than the space and broadcasting only, so it's just merging the space and the terrestrial technologies together. I think this is the right time to do so. Looking at the time, we're 10 panelists and we have 50 minutes. I think that's 5 minutes per panelist. So I think it's a bit, we need to be in a rush. With regards to the challenges with the 5G, for sure, as a regulator of the telecom sector in the country, our main priority is the progress development in the telecommunication technologies, and developing and adopting 5G, 5G advanced, and looking at the adaptation of the 6G technologies is a priority for the TDRA. When talking about the challenges, one of the main challenges we are looking at is the spectrum utilization. And there are so many aspects regarding spectrum utilization. If I wanted to address all of them, I'm not sure how I can do that. I'll try to put them as short as possible. First of all, the adoption of new allocations for the spectrum, frequency spectrum for IMT or mobile services. And as you all know, probably the International Telecommunication Union is the international body which is responsible for the global allocation for the frequency spectrum. As a TDRA, we are the administration of the UAE. We continuously get involved in the radio sector of the ITU. We get into the study groups and we try to discuss the spectrum requirements over there. WRC 23, which was held in Dubai last year, adopted one agenda item which allocated the 6 gigahertz for the mobile services. The next WRC is going to be in 27. We are looking into additional spectrum for mobile services, which is the 7 gigahertz, as well as some of the C-band, some of the KU band. The other issue with the spectrum is the integration of non-terrestrial networks. As you know, the 5G Advanced, one of the main characteristics of the 5G Advanced is the integration of non-terrestrial networks. As we saw in the recent release in the 3GPP, we have the S-band and the L-band. However, the global community is convinced that we need additional bands for the non-terrestrial networks, and this is one of the topics of the WRC agenda item. The next challenge I think that we have to look at with respect to spectrum is the utilization of the frequency by different industry players, let us say. We have the IMT community looking at the utilization of the frequencies, but at the same time, as you all are aware, we have the Wi-Fi industry and their applications and their requirements for the frequency bands. As a TRA, we need to take into consideration all of these requirements. Of course, in the WRC 23, it was some sort of a challenge to understand what the 6 gigahertz is going to be used for. So ultimately, the solution was a compromise, so the IMT can be utilized, but at the same time, room has been placed for the Wi-Fi industry to come and put forward their solutions. In the UAE, we've adopted some sort of a balanced solution. So the lower 500 megahertz has been already, this was like 2 years ago, before the WRC 23, it has been recognized as unlicensed band, so it could be used for the Wi-Fi solutions. After the WRC 23, the allocation of the 6 gigahertz, the TDRA has recently announced the allocation of the 6 gigahertz for both of the operators. So we've given the opportunity for the IMT community to provide their solutions in there. Last thing I wanted to talk about is the private 5G issue. The private 5G issue is a big topic, and we are looking at that from all perspectives. We have a big challenge over there with regards to knowledge and understanding. We're talking about the telecom industry. All the stakeholders in the telecom industry are aware of the IMT. They're aware of the 5G. But when we're talking about private 5G, we're talking about different industries utilizing the telecommunication. Knowledge gap is there. We could identify that, and we've taken some aspects to try to overcome that gap. I'll stop here, and maybe we can.
Thank you, Dr. Khaled.
If I may add maybe one very important point for Dr. Khaled and Faiz. Regarding the 5G and 5G Advanced in general, you know, we need to be able to drive the cost down. And I think one of the major requirements that operators need to have is the possibility to have spectrum sharing or RAN sharing. So the framework on spectrum sharing, on RAN sharing, I believe it's still not mature. That needs a lot of focus from the regulators.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm going to move to the operators quickly, so we can have time to hear you all. So for the network construction progress and future plan, this question is for all the operators. From a telecom operator's perspective, gentlemen, what is the current status of 5G advanced development? What influence will 5G advanced technology evolution and network deployment will have on the Middle East? I'm going to start with Hassan Al-Shmaili,
Yes.
Head of Technology Planning at Du.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So what I would like to say that I'm so happy to be here today with everyone here. When it comes to 5G, I would like to share our network strategy and at the same time deployment. As of today, we have managed to cover 99% of our outdoor populated coverage with 5G. And when it comes to the 5G advance, we managed to start our journey last year. And during GITEX last year also, we have demonstrated the first use case, which is a 5G showcase Kilda, in which we have invited multiple visitors and at the same time customers to that villa demonstrating different use cases for the 5G-SA. At the same time, we managed to demonstrate and achieve 10 gigabit speed by combining and aggregating different bands of N41, N78, and millimeter waves. When it comes to the network deployment, we would like to say, and Duo was the first operator in the Middle East to be certified by Apple as the first operator when it comes to 5G SA. And I believe maybe so far, maybe Duo is the only operator which is certified as per Apple. At the same time, Duo was the first operator to deploy 5G Advanced over DAS using Huawei Lampsight X, and we have managed to achieve 4.2 gigabit speed using Vivo handsets. At the same time, Duo is the first operator also in the Middle East recently to commercialize the Cloud RAN with Nokia. When it comes to the 5G Advanced, since last year, the status of 5G Advanced, as of today, we have managed to cover 20% of our nation outdoor capability coverage with 5G Advanced. And our strategy and plan is to increase our footprint to 40% by next year. What about the other questions again?
I'm sorry?
The second question or second part?
It's what influence will the 5G advanced technology evolution and network deployment speed will have on the Middle East?
So we believe the 5G advanced influence in the Middle East, it will help us to accelerate digital transformations by enhancing connectivity for across the different sectors, such as healthcare, manufacturing, transportation when it comes to V2X, for example, and as well as for smart cities.
Thank you, Hassan. Dr. Ayman from EAND.
Thank you, Hassan. So let me start by current status of our 5G network. So I believe the first statement that the UAE is the fastest nation globally, and as per OCLA in terms of the 5G, UAE has maintained this for almost, I think, now 2 years.
Combined, Doctor.
Thank you.
Combined.
Thank you for TDRA and both operators. They have achieved this great achievement. Even EAND UAE is maintained the fastest network globally on the same scale. And from speed as well, EAND has demonstrated the fastest speed, which hit 62 gigabit per second, even beyond the 5G standard, which by combining all available spectrum in one sector, and we're able to hit 62 gigabit per second, thanks for the TDRA support and supporting EAND to achieve such great throughput. This is from the 5G network. And then I think one important aspect, I think also the TDRA colleague highlighted this one, is the private network. Today, EAND has highlighted, or we have partnered with ADNOC to deploy the biggest private network in the world as well, which will cover 11,000 square kilometers in terms of 5G private network. This is from the private network. What we expect from the 5G Advanced, the second part. So it's 5G Advanced, it will come with 3 software releases, release 18, release 19, and release 20. So the first release that will be deployed soon is release 18. It will come with several enhancements, which will mainly focus on the uplink enhancement that will support a lot of use cases that need enhancement in the uplink, in terms of MIMO enhancement, in terms of enhancing the uplink. The other aspect is the enhancement for the rate cap. So previously we demonstrated rate cap on release 17. Now enhanced rate cap that will reduce the bandwidths. And the most importantly is the chipset of the rate cap is expected to be below $5, which will open the door for a new set of use cases that support based on 5G. And release 18 will be the first release that will allow the AI to be part of the standardization by supporting like mobility management, beam management, positioning. So this will open the door again for a lot of enhancement in the AI. Once we move to release 19, we expect to see adaptation for the passive IoT compared to enhanced RedCap that will take the IoT device to be powered by the ambient noise rather than or minimal power. So again, you are opening a lot of new use cases, a new set of use cases. And on top of this, we will see the sensing and the communication, or communication and sensing, where the base station will start to, in addition to the communication, the connectivity will start to sense. So imagine you are in the factory and you can detect the objects around you with the size and everything. And then we'll also, very important aspect of the efficiency with the sustainability and the global climate targets to achieve, and thanks to the UAE leadership in adapting this global initiative, we will see with release 18 and release 19 and 20 even a KPIs on sustainability that will reduce the power consumption on the base station and even from the device itself. With release 20, we are expecting to see the foundation for 6G that will take us from cloud native, as we were seeing in the previous panel, from cloud native to AI native. So the end-to-end design of the network will be based on AI from the device all the way to the application, including the core and the access network. Communication and sensing will be like some sort of mainstream sustainability again. So this is a journey we are expecting 5G advanced, and we are excited to be part of this journey.
Thank you, Dr. Ayman. I will give the floor to Stelios.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, really great to be here. And also, I think it's the GCC area is actually probably one of the most advanced areas, and this is one of the real benefits, I would say, for the customer in this region. I'll start with a point that Faye has talked about, which is about ARPUs. So quite frankly, you know, one of the big things that I need to try and justify is how do I drive this investment? Okay, sadly, I don't have a blank check. As an engineer, I'd love to do everything, but usually I need to be in control. And usually I need to talk to my commercial colleagues, some of them are here, to try and help me justify what I'm doing. In terms of 5G Advanced, so what we've tried to look at is what are the use cases, what are the network scenarios that are helping us to drive certain investments. So for us, one of the areas we saw was where we have the traffic hotspots, so stadiums, where we have special events. And when I think of Oman itself, down in Salalah, every summer we have the Kharif season, which gets a huge influx of tourists and even the local population going down there. So we've been looking at 3 features in terms of advanced scheduling, in terms of uplink improvements to drive throughput, and of course, some features around sensing interference, again, to improve the throughput. So ultimately, looking at how we can drive the network to give a much better experience. In terms of looking ahead at the future and what this will bring, I think very much it's that ability for segmentation. So being able to offer differentiated quality of services for certain customers. You know, the big one that always springs to mind is gaming. Okay, gaming needs that super latency, that improvement, access to content, and so on. So I think that will be definitely an area that you know, is already being worked on, but further improvements will happen. I'm not a gamer, so it doesn't really bother me, but my son is, so I get the complaints at home all the time. RedCap will create additional opportunities where not only will we be able to give these CPEs at a cheaper cost, but control also the capacity on our network. I mean, no point giving access to everything when someone doesn't need, and what they can be offered is good. IoT is another important area where I think, you know, be it passive or other types of IoT, how it will work, but it will enable some new opportunities. And then finally, I think, you know, with the super low latency, you know, these mission critical applications, and as we move into actual private, you know, mobile private networks, and especially considering the region, the oil and gas industry is the prime target for some of these already. You know, Ayman mentioned about their live use case. These are some of the things we're looking at also in Oman, is how do we make sure we can deliver those mission critical applications and allow them to do all the really cool stuff, and making sure that sensors, viewing, video, live feeds are all happening at the right time.
Thank you, Stelios. Rami?
Look, probably most of the things have been spoken already. The way we see 5GSA is probably the similar to everyone else. It's an efficient technology, which is addressing our cost problems, which is also addressing our ARPU problems. But also we look at it as a bigger piece and a bigger puzzle, a big piece and a bigger puzzle. The nature of traffic is changing now. Let me give you a quick example we touch every day. When you have a video on demand service, that's different from a live video streaming, like watching a football game. That's completely different from gaming, and that's completely different from a virtual reality goggle. In the heart of these four, it's all video services. The requirements are different. Latency is different. Latency requirement is different. Consistent bandwidth is different between one and another. I'm not talking about the value of the bandwidth or how it's big or small. I'm talking about some applications needs a consistent bandwidth, even if it is smaller than a thing. So consistency is different between one and another. Latency and edge computing is different. So what's going to shape the 5G demand soon would be more of the application than the end user. The end user wants the application, but what shapes our interaction with those applications or with those providers is how we give them the 5GSA. Okay, so 5GSA is the second piece of this puzzle, which is ensuring those variances from one application to the other. And the one who will decide which variants that they opt for is going to be the content provider, not us, and not the end consumer. And for that, we need to open an API for them. So we have an efficient bandwidth, which is a mandate, but you also have different flavors of the same bandwidth, and you have the APIs exposed to the entrepreneurs, the enterprises, to content providers. This triangle helps to address the changing nature of traffic. So we see it more of a changing nature of traffic than just a new traffic or a bandwidth. So what we think in Vodafone, it's not a matter of getting a connection to the content, it's how you get this connection, how fast you get it, what's the nature of this bandwidth, more or less.
Thank you, Rami. Hisham?
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Very pleased to be here. Look, I believe that 5G is a journey. 5G, 5G Advanced, 5G SA coming. It's a long journey. I mean, Ooredoo Qatar, we launched 5G back in 2018, like more than 6 years ago. So today, I believe that the technology is maturing, so we are enabling new features under, let's say, the SA or the advanced terminology. But I believe that those features are here actually to complement the reason why 5G was launched initially. It was to provide premium connectivity. So today, there are some additional features that are coming under 5G Advanced that will enhance the connectivity, as my colleagues already said, improving the interference on the uplink, improving the download, improving latency, and so on and so forth. Now, on top of that, you have some additional features and functionalities that are coming that are improving, let's say, the efficiency from a power efficiency, sustainability, reduction of kilowatt hour per bits, et cetera, et cetera. You have also some additional combination with AI that is empowering automation. For example, service creation, second layer creation, additional sites, additional nodes. Today, it's being automated. It used to take 2-3 days to create a site. Today, it's taking like less than minutes. Okay? Then you have an additional layer, which is also a combination with the power of AI that does a kind of automation of, or let's say the zero-touch operation. So optimization is being done in a closed loop by using some OSS systems on top of, let's say, AI system on top of your OSS that is really improving the optimization process of your network. Now, this is on the network side. 5G Advanced and 5G even SA later on, which is also in the pipeline, will enable additional business opportunities within the ICT, within the telecom, and within other industries such as my colleague said, healthcare, smart cities. I mean, today we are seeing smart cities really happening. Millions of sensors and cameras connected to AI to cloud computing, with this huge amount of processing, we are seeing better traffic management for the city organizers, for example, better safety, better urban management. So that's for me, if I want to recap, 5G and 5G Advanced and 5G SA, it's a long journey that is coming with the whole ecosystem being matured at the same time.
Thank you, Hisham. Thank you, gentlemen, from all the operators' point of view. It's really interesting. I'm going to move on to the equipment vendors side so we can hear their opinion on that. So equipment vendors not only provide 5G advanced technological support, but also play an important role in driving business model innovation and helping the industry ecosystem mature. What do you think of the current 5G advanced applications and business model? What role can equipment vendors play in application and businesses model explorations when collaborating with operator? I'm going to give the floor for Mr. Alan Tang from Huawei.
Thank you. So good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Actually, I want to share some or thinking from Huawei side. Firstly, you know that the cooperation with the whole industry and definitely all the parties definitely can accelerate the maturity of the 5G, the industry, the ecosystem. So by joint innovation actually with the terminal manufacturing, the operator, and the regular and standard organizations, this definitely will accelerate the maturity of the 5G, the ecosystem. And this year, actually, you have a lot of we see that a lot of progress in the region. For example, a 10 gig society white paper already released in Saudi. And also there's a lot of countries, including like UAE, as you mentioned, and Saudi, and Qatar, and Kuwait, they released a new TDD spectrum. So this is definitely will move a big step for the next step for the 5G readiness. And this is also there's a lot of CPEs for the supported TDD 3CC already commercial list in this year. It's more than 10,000 pieces actually already deployed in the network. And by the end of this year, there will some to support the 3CC smartphone will release it by the end of this year. So the first. The second the opinion is that you know that for the 5G-A with the new technologies, especially for the multi-carrier aggregation and 5QI with SUL technology will give more possibility how to bring the new business model for the operators, for example, from the traffic monetization to the experience monetization. And this a lot of practice actually already happening in the market. For example, in Saudi, the one operator already is the 300 Mbps guaranteed package. So this is because you know that with this new technology, it's easy to manage the deterministic actual experience for the end users. So this is the first. The second is that also there's some practice, for example, you know that like the UAE, like Oman, and Saudi as well. There's released for the gaming licensing package. So this is like the very high speed, you know, the least line package. So this some practice is already happening in the region. And the third one is that as a supply, I think we can do a lot of innovation together with operators for solve the 5G-A, you know, the issues. And also this year we see that a lot of one hot topic about the AI and also mobile AI. We are released the mobile AI marketing site in Istanbul last month. So how to build the AI-oriented, you know, the target network? This is from supply side. I think we can do the analysis together with operators. How to build the architecture and the target network to face the challenge from the mobile AI. The second that you know that 5G already commercial more than 4 years. So it's time we also to think about how to transform from the NSA to the SA architecture. So for this one, we can do also do the analysis together. And the third one, you know that by joint innovation, I think we already do some industry first, you know, the innovation in the market. Just give an example. Actually, Huawei, we have do the customize the industry first, the dual band, the dual band the TDD, you know, the 6040 product. And this will help with addressing the issue for the operators for the limited space on the tower, and also the load bearing, the challenges. And the second is that there's a lot of traffic happening in the indoor. So we have to the pioneer and the fast, the support TD3CC, the digital indoor system. And this is also can reach the more than 5 gigabps the experience. This is bring the new possibility and new experience for the operators. This third one. The last but not least that I do believe is a win-win in the industry, because you know that 5G is not only the like a technology breakthrough, but also that through all the cooperation with operators and when they're together, that I do believe that will be transforming the global digital economy, and definitely will help the whole industry the upgrade. So this is some of my general thinking. Thank you.
If I may, just
Yes,
as
sure.
a follow-up with
Please.
Alan's intervention, I know from the previous panel this is something we should not say, but I totally agree with what he said with regards to the most important issues that we need to take into consideration to adopt and progress the 5G implementation is the collaboration of different stakeholders in the industry. I think this strategy has been one of the key strategies that we've adopted in the TDRA since the beginning of the 5G deployment and implementation in 2019 or 18. We've considered the collaboration between all of the stakeholders, including the different vendors, the operators, and the different players in the industry. And what we've seen is that this strategy has came back with a similar collaboration from industry. And I think we in the UAE, we are very lucky to have this sort of a collaborative environment, not only from the government, but also from the operators. We've seen a lot of collaboration actually from both of the operators, as well as the industry players like vendors. We've seen a lot of collaboration in getting into the market and getting involved into the even the decisions. From the TDRA, the strategy has been from the beginning that no decisions are taken solely. It's always about having consultations with the industry, having consultations with the operator, and getting the feedback. And this has resulted in a very positive result in the implementation of good technologies. And I think this is one of the key elements that really contributed to the investment of 5G in the region.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Khaled.
you, Dr. Khaled.
Can we move to Zoran from Ericsson, please? I'd like to hear your point of view.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, and thank you, Telecom EU, for staging this panel. I think this is a fantastic question because it's addressing some of the key challenges which industry is having for quite some time. It is how to monetize 5G. And we think that 5G Advanced is all about monetization. And as you said, this is application we need to monetize, we need a business model to monetize. So let me start with application. What we really need, how we create application, what we need for application. We need brilliant idea, hopefully killer application. We need developer, that's we need for each and every application. But then after this, problem starts. Once that application is developed, it needs to be connected with each and every operator globally, because we want to have global reach. So it's hundreds of operators. It's probably not standardized connection for each and every. So that developer will need to ensure how it's going to connect to each and every operator. And then connecting is not end story. Then it needs to be maintained also that, because things are changing. We're going to upgrade technology, so we're going to need also to maintain. And also it's not stopping there, because you need to have also some contract agreement for each operator. So you need to go in each and every operator to prepare contract agreement, how it's going to monetize and get some value out of that application. It's nothing simpler if you look from operator side. It's not one application, obviously, that we want to launch. It's going to be hundreds, maybe thousands of operations. I don't know how many developer platforms. And that meaning that operator will need to go and build the SIM connection to each and every operation. That's obviously a challenge. And that's the challenge which Ericsson, with some of the biggest operator globally are trying to address when we launched recently this global network API platform with the idea to connect southbound to the operators. This is clear collaboration, you see, because there is 12 operators who are competing generally, who are actually now partner here. It's obviously completely open, multi-vendor. So we are connecting southbound to operators, fixing all these issues if it's not unique connections, and then offering that to developers platform. So offering standardized APIs to developers platform. It's very important to say that this platform is not offering directly to developers because idea is not to compete. This platform is not there to compete with anybody. This platform is actually to fix the problem and to offer that connectivity to developers platform. In this case, definitely I want also to call global, also regional operators to join. I know many of them are already joining. There's no exclusivity at all when it comes to this platform. I mean, maybe some of the operators, as Tisala, they have their developers platform, that's perfectly fine. Maybe they have already some connection to some of their IoT platform, that is perfectly fine. This is one more way to reach to the developers and to look at the developers for the API applications. That's when it comes to applications. When it comes to business model, there is also big change, because what we are doing as of now, what we are offering as of now, it's networks which we have at the moment is one size fits all. It's best effort network what we are selling. Now with 5G Advanced and capabilities with 5G Advanced, and many are mentioned here, slicing, low latency, we can predict performance. We can guarantee performances. And that's what application is asking for. With these predicted performances, we are building also performance-based business models. The way how we're going to sell and offer these capabilities from the network won't be the same how we are selling at the moment. And then again, we need here collaboration. We need, of course, for operators to develop, to adopt that kind of models. We need to communicate this back to developers' application and then start eventually using the new business model. So I think it's collaboration on every corner, to be honest, required.
Perfect. Great. Thank you, Zoran. I'd like to move to Hamad from Nokia.
I can take my time now. Huh?
No, because we need to end it.
Yes,
You're happy.
No, first, I mean, thank you. It's really an honor to be here. It's really great to be here. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me start first by saying that we're currently at a midpoint. The 5G commercial implementation starting in 2019. And it came with its promises, the ultra low latency, the data on the uplink side, the reliability. But now, 5G Advanced is an exciting step. It's an evolution of these promises, bringing much more than the technology, bringing the applications, bringing the use cases. So, and I can give so many examples, the extended reality, the different use cases mentioned about the industry. And this is the advantage to be the last, because so many things has been said. The low-cost IoT devices with the red cap, this is very important, reduce capacity. All this, what's happening on the non-terrestrial networks, on the NTN side, the collaboration, and of course we're collaborating as Nokia with AST around it. All these are applications, a real-life, real-world application to better work and create a better use cases meeting the different demands. And of course, this is how I see it as well, because we should not see the 5G Advanced as just a technology to enable. It's much more. It's about the collaboration of creation of business model and application which help in the real world needs. Something which is very important as well is the way we work as a collaboration together with as well the regulator and the operators around it and build it. So I would mention here a couple of things. First, from Nokia perspective, what we're having and what is the strategy we're building. So we created what we call the 4 E's strategy for 5G Advanced. The first one, the well-known, about the experience of the consumers enabled by the different application, by extended reality, by all these kind of applications. The second thing, it's about the network itself, because the network needs is changing, the data is changing. A very good example as well is what Apple is doing, because they're flooding the Apple intelligence back to the cloud. So by that, it means what? It means more data going fast on the uplink side. So you need the AI automation. On the energy side, on the performance, you need to have the right sustainability. Now, in the same time, we talked about all these use cases. So we need to extend it to these new cases in order to be able to serve the new cases in a better way. In the same time, we talked a lot about how we're going to serve the industries. And this is where we have to go to expand to new areas in order to support the different precise positioning for industries. It's all about that at the end. It's all about collaborating together, partnering together. So the vendor here has really two important roles. Of course, the technology to enable all that, but more important is the collaboration itself with the different operators to build the right business models to serve at the end the different consumers, whether from industry perspective or from normal consumer perspective. It's all about bringing value at the end to the whole ecosystem.
Thank you, Mohammed. I think we still have some time, so I'm going to ask another question for the operators. Sorry?
May I, please?
Yes, please, of course.
Thank you. So I sort of rushed it at the beginning, and I'm glad we have time to elaborate. So when looking at the picture, what we have here are representatives of the supply side of the economic equation. What we're missing is the demand side. Through cross-industry collaboration, we can not only understand the needs of the demand side, but have the demand side start pulling services from the network themselves. We will never be experts in aviation. We will never be experts in tourism. We will never certainly be experts in government. However, the experts within these sectors need to understand the capabilities that we can offer as an ecosystem and start dreaming of their own applications. People from within these sectors themselves will be the entrepreneurs that will come up with the bright ideas once they actually capture the power that we can bring to their businesses.
And have easy access to the same.
And that is openness that we start with. And the API platform about which Zoran talked to us, we at the GSMA, we have the Open Gateway API initiative, to which all of the MNOs here, the mobile network operators, have signed up. We also have Nokia in our partnership network. And this is an agreement by the ecosystem to create standards, which we think of it akin to a universal travel adapter, electrical adapter. If you find a service in Brazil that is good for your business, it should not take you months to plug it into your network and create services. What we need is a standard that makes a service that is developed no matter where, easily and rapidly deployable on your own network. And that can be created through APIs and through standardization of those APIs. We look forward to working with all the stakeholders. However, we have to recognize that the mobile industry of today is no longer the mobile industry of 10 years ago. This is the mobile industry that will have to be involved in so many sectors that we cannot be, nor should we seek to be the experts in every field we're involved in. And I think the openness to which Dr. Al-Awadi referred to, involving all stakeholders, and having the regulatory framework that can be proactive and one that can accommodate these new innovations will allow us to push more investment, increase our ROI, because after all, again, this is a business, right? And create use cases that will actually create better value, not only for the stakeholders, but also for the whole economy as a whole.
Yes, Zoran.
Yes, thank you. I mean, I want to stress on this collaboration, and it's super good that really that we have here different operators, different vendors, because we are in different mode typically. We are typically in fearless competition. And I will give you an example. I mean, when we are talking about this platform, I mean, for the platform to operate in one country, for application to be useful in that country, they need to make sure application owner it's working completely across the country. So in this case, for both operators, so 3 operators. And when you go and when you start discussing and explaining to some of the operators that everybody gonna have access and that application will work with any of the operators, they are saying, okay, but we cannot compete to them. It's gonna be like same for everybody. They lose the interest. So I think we are by default in this compete mode. So really cooperation is really the key word, I would say.
So because we spoke, Faiz, you spoke about the AI, so I would like to add like a small thought, you know, we still have 6 minutes. How do you think, gentlemen, the AI can be leveraged to create synergies actually with the 5G-A operators?
Maybe I can, I can give you a concrete case that we implemented in Ooredoo Qatar. Mainly it was for the World Cup in 2022.
Yeah.
So we installed an expert system, an AI-based expert system, on top of our OSS, different OSS, radio, core, network, transport, etc. And so the main target was for this OSS to get configuration, management, performance, and faults from those different systems. And to do, I mean, it was like millions of alarms on a daily basis, with correlation, filtration, and reducing those millions of alarms from, let's say, 10 million a day to like 100 a day with a closed-loop implementation in order to improve the performance. So this is the power of AI, by the way, that we implemented back in 2022 for the World Cup, and it had really a great impact on the network performance. Now what's happening, this was outside, let's say, 5G-A. Now with 5G-A and 5G advanced embedding in the OSS system some AI functionalities, this combination is becoming even exponentially more power. So today, with the complexity of the mobile networks, having multiple layers, multiple frequencies, you cannot manage this by human beings. You have to have support from the AI and Gen AI and all those tools.
Yeah, thank you, Hisham.
This will also help exposing our network APIs to not to the end users, to the content providers, application providers, because they don't know our terminologies, our capabilities, and they will need a mediator in the middle, like an LLM, to transform what they think of their needs to what we can offer to them as network providers. So what Hisham mentioned ties very well with exposing our network capabilities.
Dr. Ayman.
Yeah, may I?
Yeah, Alan,
Yeah.
sorry.
Actually, you know that.
No, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. What you mentioned about the AI, you know that I think right now for the operator, one is the AI for network, and another is the network for AI. So for the 5G-A, definitely is network for the AI. So for the AI, you know that there's some fundamental things, two things. First, you need the fundamental for the cloud, because a lot of capabilities will build on the cloud. The second, that you have very strong connectivity with very low latency to support the AI, the training, the influence. This is, this is the second. And we saw that in our region, there's some transformation. A lot of operators, like Ian, like you have to transform from the telco to the technical. So this is, there are three characteristics for the telco. One is for the business servitization. Second is for the service platformization. The third one is for the platform intelligentization. This is actually to solve the issues for how to monetize the product, how to monetize your data, how to monetize the AI. So right now, actually globally, a lot of companies, especially in US and China, to invest for the AI. But I feel that the AI is like, for the operator side, the major two parts I think we can do it. First, how to empower the internal efficiency. Second is that supported by the big model of others. Second, how to enhance the customer experience, to enhance your capability for the core product, to have a more possibility to different the packaging to the market. So this is what I'm thinking about. The AI will bring the value to the operator side.
Thank you, Alan. Dr. Ayman, please.
Okay, so maybe I can elaborate more on our journey from AI perspective. I will address it from, I think, from all aspects. So I think we have started this journey maybe in 2016 with the automation and the RPA, and we are pioneering this. Today, for example, in our app, you can diagnose your network and any issues you can face, you can detect, you can solve the problem using an automation from our app. So we are the first to empower the customer to check the network status, to solve the network even from his app. And we have, with this journey, once we have the Gen AI started to come, we have established an AI first program. As of today, we have more than 1,200 use cases from automation, touching every aspect from the network all the way to the customer. And we have deployed more than 1,000 AI use cases, okay, including legacy AI or classical AI with the Gen AI use cases. If I can elaborate more on this, from the customer interface, all the channels are empowered by Gen AI use cases. And from the network side as well, from alarm prediction, from correlation, from prediction, and so on. This is from the network side. So this is from the use case perspective, and taking this journey towards what we have announced, our collaboration with the partner, because AI you cannot deploy alone. We have announced a collaboration with Azure, with AWS, with Google, with Oracle, DRCC. We have deployed as well a cloud infrastructure in our data center, so we can host the LLM on our data center with sovereign AI cloud. So this deployment was announced almost 1 year back. This is from the infrastructure perspective and from cloud as well. And moving from this, we are neutral, so we are offering either on our cloud or on public cloud. We have different LLM, and today, before this panel, I have downloaded a light LLM model on my mobile where you can chat. The Llama one from the Meta, 3.2 gig, you can download in your mobile and you can chat with it offline. So imagine the capability that will come with the AI. In this panel, before this panel, is a discussion about our alliance with Global Teleco, where we are building a teleco-specific LLM. And I see this as the first time the operator are taking the lead rather than waiting for the techco to come with their solution. We are taking the lead, we are building this, and we're offering it to other telco globally.
Thank you, Dr.
If I can add one comment about that.
Yes, I'm going to just give one comment. Yeah, please, Hamad.
Sure. So first, I want to add something about the network itself and managing the network. So we are using as Nokia AI in both performance and energy. And something as well to highlight is that during Hajj, the performance of Hajj was managed through AI on the OSS. So 100,000 action done to manage the traffic during Hajj was done in 24 hours. So imagine without AI, how this will be managed. On the energy side, of course, it's very important as well, because you need AI to help you to understand how you can reduce the energy. But the last thing I want to add, that we should not forget the other side of the AI, because by consumers using AI, you have more traffic, and then you need more AI on the network itself to manage it.
Thank you, Muhammad. Gentlemen, we'll conclude this panel. The time's up. I would like to thank you all for your excellent point of view, interesting point of view, and most importantly, the collaboration. As you said, Dr. Khalid, this is the most important thing between the operators in one country, and especially in UAE. Gentlemen, I would like you to stay on stage. We're going to have like a small ceremony, but we can take a picture now. But we will stay on stage. We have like a nice ceremony that we will do.
And the ceremony has begun, ladies and gentlemen. We will be having a countdown, and right on the screen you'll see it. Here we go, everybody. In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And now we're just going to be posing for the photographs. All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, and thank you to all as well.